According to a recent study, people who consume mushrooms daily had a 45% lower risk of cancer compared to those who did not consume mushrooms at all.
With that in mind, it is time for a new DIY free recipe video for you guys. So today we are going to make a immune enhancing, cancer fighting mushroom broth for your dog and cat, and yourself actually as well if you want. It's super easy to make, very affordable, and an absolutely incredible addition to your pet's diet, no matter what type of pet food you're feeding right now.
I'm super duper excited for this recipe because I've been waiting to do this one for a very long time. For those who are new to our channel, my name is Larry and this is my partner Charlie, and we are the founders of Bodega, an online holistic pet wellness store, shipping all across the USA from our warehouse in Texas, and even offering worldwide delivery from our warehouse in Dubai.
All right, before we get started on the recipe, we must address one common misconception about mushrooms, and that is, are mushrooms toxic to dogs and pets? And the answer to that is kind of, it depends. There are some mushrooms that are toxic, but the mushrooms that we're using today are all culinary mushrooms and medicinal and functional mushrooms, and none of them are toxic for your dogs, so you don't have to worry about that.
It's actually quite the opposite. Medicinal mushrooms has incredible benefits, and if you aren't feeding medicinal mushrooms yet, your pet is definitely missing out.
All right, so for today's recipe, you can use any type of medicinal mushrooms that you'd like to use, but here is our first tip of this video. We absolutely love to use multiple different types of medicinal mushrooms in our mushroom broth. This way you get one broth that contains the medicinal benefits of many different mushrooms, and it's just gonna have a lot more health benefits for your dog as well. For this medicinal mushroom broth, you're gonna need the following ingredients. 3 cups of medicinal mushrooms, and you're gonna slice them up in little pieces. 1.5 tablespoons of unsalted butter. 9 cups of filtered water. And for added health benefits, you can also add 1 tablespoon of herbs or spices based on your personal preferences. So as far as the utensils go, all you need to make this mushroom broth is a pot and a blender. Here's a tip for when you're buying mushrooms for yourself or your dog. So mushrooms are bioaccumulators, and what that means is that they absorb toxins from the environment where they're grown. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you are choosing organic mushrooms whenever possible. All right, so these are all of the mushrooms that we got at Whole Foods. All right, so without further ado, here are a few mushrooms that you can use for your mushroom broth that have incredible health benefits for your dog and cat. The first one is gonna be Shiitake. Shiitake is a world famous culinary medicinal mushroom. Shiitake mushrooms have been widely studied for their health promoting properties, including immune modulation and cancer fighting properties.
All right, next up is gonna be oyster mushrooms. Now, oyster mushrooms and their anti-inflammatory properties actually even help to reduce joint pain and discomfort. It even also helps to promote gut health and digestion.
All right, now this little guy here, that is a king trumpet mushroom. And this mushroom is loaded with antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals to support your pet's immune system. No other medicinal mushroom contains this high of an ergothionein count as this one here, king trumpet.
All right, now this one is going to be probably one of my favorite mushrooms, and this is going to be lion's mane. Now, lion's mane is an absolutely incredible choice for your pet's mushroom broth because it is commonly referred to the smart mushroom, and the reason is because research has actually found that this mushroom actually supports memory and cognitive function.
The last mushroom that we're going to mention today that you can use in your mushroom broth is Maitake mushrooms. It looks quite funky, right? Maitake mushrooms are abundant in beta-glucans and have been studied for their potential anti-inflammatory and immune-enhancing effects. Traditionally, Maitake has been used to tonify the kidneys, increase vitality, maintain balanced blood sugar levels, and support the immune system. You can also add other medicinal mushrooms such as chaga mushrooms, turkey tail mushrooms, cordyceps, and any other medicinal mushrooms that you feel like might be beneficial to your dog and cat. So I do have one tip for you, which is at Whole Foods, we did see that they have a chef's mix. So it was basically a mix of Shiitake, Maitake, king trumpet, and oyster mushrooms. So, I mean, that's a one grab and go. All right, let's start the actual cooking of the mushroom broth. So the first step, in our pot, we're gonna warm up the butter, and then we're gonna saute the mushrooms. Do you know how to work this?
She doesn't know how to work a stove, you get it?
Well, we're in an Airbnb right now, so it's a very different stove than what I'm used to. I cook a lot. By the way, what are we gonna do with all of the mushrooms that we have left over? We're gonna eat them ourselves in our omelet.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that later. All right, so now the butter's melted. Now we're gonna pour in the mushrooms and saute them.
All right.
Oh, it smells so good. Like we said earlier, this is so healthy, not just for your dog, but also for yourself, and of course your cat as well, but yourself. So if you want to share that with your dog, definitely do. So if you need a little bit more butter, definitely put more butter. That you can do that. That's no problem. All right, so basically we're just gonna saute them on very low heat until they are nice and soft, and then we're gonna add our liquid. A few minutes, should take a few minutes. All right, so now that the mushrooms are nice and soft, we're gonna add our 9 cups of liquid to the mushrooms. Just gonna pour them. Just remember to use filtered water and not tap water. All right, now you're gonna add your choice of herbs. If you do wanna add herbs, if you don't wanna add herbs, you don't have to, but we're gonna just pour our ginger and
ginger.
Yes. So we just put that in there. We're gonna put the lid on and let it simmer for a minimum of 20 minutes. Now you're gonna find lots of different recipes online with lots of different timings of how long to make the mushroom broth and how long to let it simmer. We personally love to let it simmer for between 6 to 8 hours because we just believe that that will give us the most potent mushroom broth. There are recipes that say you can just do it for 20 minutes and you can eat it already. So that is up to you. We're gonna let this simmer now for 6 to 8 hours. All right, 6 hours later, the mushroom broth is ready and we're excited for the next step. So this next step is also very important. Make sure you do this as well. We're not going to strain the mushrooms. The mushrooms are, we have to do something with the mushrooms.
This is a pro tip.
Yes.
Okay, so before we move on with this recipe, if you like this video, guys, please do make sure that you subscribe to this channel and give this video a like. It really, really does help with the growth. And it really also helps us to reach more pet parents just like yourself. So let's continue with this video.
Exactly. So now one important step, we've left this to cool down for a little bit already. So we're gonna take the lid off and this is what it looks like right now. So now comes one exciting step, which is we're gonna blend the mushroom broth so that the mushrooms remain in the broth because they're gonna add fiber to the broth and all of the goodies stay inside this broth. So we're gonna blend it with this hand blender. You can also use whatever blender you have at home. Can't wait to try this. Yep. All right, so this is what it looks like once it's all done and we've pureed the mushrooms so it's nice and thick and...
You want it?
No, you try it first.
It's pretty good. Like if I was gonna honestly drink it myself, I would probably add a little bit of salt. But,
oh, okay.
But honestly, this is really good.
Yeah.
Honestly, taste it. It's really good. Right? It's only missing salt.
Wow. It tastes really good with the turmeric as well.
Yeah. Like it has a nice little spice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Really
It's
good.
really good. Like,
Yeah.
It's delicious. Thank you, chef.
So now we're going to talk about storage and feeding recommendations. So storing this, we always love storing anything, even Milka's food, in glass containers.
glass is definitely BPA free. It's not going to leach any toxins into the food, so we avoid storing any type of food for ourselves and for Milka in plastic, just because we want to minimize how many toxins are entering into the food as well as into our own bodies. So here we go, we're gonna just add some of this broth in here. We have a few of these glass containers. As you can see, it is very liquidy. And if you prefer, you can also freeze this into smaller cubes and portion it so you can have more fresh cubes throughout the week if you choose to feed this more frequently.
All right, here it is. We've got the mushroom broth in an airtight glass container, and you can keep this inside the fridge for 5 to 7 days. And then once it's cooled down, like we said earlier, you can also freeze it into little molds so that you can have it in the freezer and just add one to your dog's food whenever you want. So when it comes to feeding recommendations, it's recommended to start with 1 tablespoon per 25 pounds of body weight, and then slowly increase to 4 tablespoons for every 25 pounds of body weight. All right, so let's give some to Milka. She's gonna have 4 tablespoons because she knows this already. 2, 3, 4. You can give this with food, or if your dog will eat it like this, you can give it like that, whatever you want.
Yeah. Now, if your dog doesn't actually eat the mushroom broth, then I would definitely recommend mixing it into the food well. So that might happen.
We love putting the mushroom broth also into Milka's food while we rehydrate it. So we feed her a mixture of raw food and freeze-dried raw food, and we rehydrate the freeze-dried overnight. So let's show you that.
Okay, so here we have one of Milka's recipes. It's green juju, the goat recipe.
Now this is 4 tablespoons of mushroom broth mixed with some water, and we're gonna rehydrate the green juju and leave it in the fridge overnight. All right, there you have it. This is your mushroom broth recipe that I hope your dog will love, and your cat and yourself as well. And personally, we love rotating between mushroom broth and triple extracted mushroom supplements. Mushroom supplements will contain the most potent variety of medicinal compounds, so you get basically just a more variety of different mushroom sources and different mushroom techniques on how to extract the compounds.
So at Bodega, you know we got you covered. We offer triple extracted, wild harvested, and organic, naturally grown mushrooms for your dog, cat, and horse, and we will link them down in the description section below where you can go and check those mushrooms out.
All right, if you have more tips on how to make the best mushroom broth, definitely leave them in the comments below so we can all share our tips and recipes with each other. And definitely leave a comment if you like this video, give us a like and a subscribe. It really helps us push out more DIY videos in the future. And if you're subscribed, you'll be notified once we launch a new DIY video.
We have a lot of DIY videos. Be sure to check those out. We have the golden paste bone broth and recipes, treats. We got you covered. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Until then, we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.